You ever just stop and really look at the homepage of a major news site? I mean, really look at it. It's not just about what happened today. It's a window into the hopes, the fears, and yeah, the obsessions of millions of people. So today, we're going to do just that. We're going to treat one single web page like a cultural artifact. And, well, we're going to decode it. So here's our source material. Super simple. It's the front page of Aaj Tak, a huge Hindi news outlet, from a single, totally ordinary day. That's it. No more, no less. But as you're about to see, this one little snapshot in time, it tells us so much. Okay, first thing we see is this. Right out of the gate, it's a heavyweight headline. We're talking high-stakes international diplomacy, geopolitical tension, the threat of conflict. It sets a really serious tone. But hold that thought. Because right next to it, we get this. Talk about a pivot. We've just jumped from a global crisis to the daughter-in-law of one of the richest men in India. This is all about celebrity, family, high fashion, and just immense wealth. That feeling of whiplash, totally intentional. And to complete this chaotic trifecta, you get this. Pure, simple, practical advice. I mean, forget geopolitics, forget high society, right? The real question on everyone's mind is, how do I keep my house cool without going broke? It really feels like you're being pulled in a million different directions all at once. So how in the world do we make sense of this? Well, we've got a roadmap. First, we're just going to look at this wall of information itself. Then we'll break it all down into three big themes. You've got power, politics, and conflict, then fame, fortune, and film, and finally, faith, fear, and daily life. Once we do that, the bigger picture starts to come into focus.
And here's the most important thing to get. This mix isn't random at all. Every single one of these stories is fighting for your click. This wall of what looks like chaos is actually a super organized, data-driven reflection of what a massive audience is curious about, what they're worried about, and what entertains them. It's organized chaos.
Okay, let's jump into our first theme. Power and politics are obviously front and center, but what's so fascinating is the incredible range. The news zooms from the biggest international stage right down to super local squabbles, and it treats both of them with the same level of importance.
And this slide just illustrates that perfectly. I mean, on the one hand, you have global superpowers in a major standoff, and on the other, you have a political spat in the state of Uttar Pradesh that is literally about tea. Both of these are presented as, you need to know this right now. It shows a readership that's just as invested in local power struggles as it is in huge global crises.
And when you dig in a little bit, that focus gets even sharper. There's this constant hum of election politics, multiple state elections all happening at the same time. Then you've got major national laws being debated, and of course that ever-present shadow of international war. See, politics isn't just one topic, it's a whole universe of them.
All right, now for our second theme, and this one is just as big, the world of celebrity, money, and movies. This is the land of aspiration, of pure escapism, and it is a really powerful force on this page.
Now what's so interesting here is how personal this gets. This isn't just some movie review, it's a super emotional headline about the marriage problems of a star from the Bhojpuri film industry, which is a massive regional cinema scene in India. This kind of personal, high-stakes drama is just a powerful escape for readers.
Okay, just take a second and look at this number. 25 lakh rupees. Now, 1 lakh is 100,000, so we're talking about 2.5 million rupees. To put that into perspective, that's around 30,000 US dollars. For many families, that's a huge amount of money. We're talking years of savings. Just keep that number in your head.
Because here's the story behind it. A student scores in the top 1% on this incredibly tough engineering exam after their family spent a fortune on coaching, and it's still not enough to get into one of the top universities. You see, this isn't just a story about education. It's a story about huge ambition, massive financial sacrifice, and the absolute crushing anxiety of trying to build a better life.
And that leads us perfectly into our last and maybe our most personal theme. This is where the news really gets woven into the fabric of everyday life, mixing together spiritual guidance, shocking crime, and the simple, practical challenges of just getting through the day.
I mean, look at this. It's not just one horoscope. You've got horoscopes for your love life, for your money, for your career. It's like a whole toolkit for figuring out the future. This really points to a deep need for guidance, for a little reassurance, and for some sense of control when the world feels so uncertain. And then, just as you're thinking about your destiny, you get blindsided by this. A headline that is so shocking, so completely bizarre, it feels like it's from another planet. This whiplash from the spiritual to the profane, from guidance to graphic violence, it shows the media's powerful grip on the entire, often contradictory, spectrum of human experience. And finally, we're brought right back down to earth, the weather. It's over 111 degrees Fahrenheit, and it's affecting everyone. Schools are actually changing their schedules because of it. This is news at its most basic, practical, immediate information that directly impacts your life and your kids' lives. Okay, so we've looked at the chaos, the politics, the ambition, the everyday reality. Let's pull all these pieces together now and see what the big picture really looks like.
After sifting through all these completely different pieces, what's the actual narrative here? What's the one story that this whole collage of information is really telling us?
You know, the key takeaway here isn't just that it's a mirror. It's what that mirror is showing us. It's revealing the tension of a nation living in multiple realities all at once. It's a society trying to figure out its place in global power dynamics while at the same time being fiercely invested in a local political fight over tea. It dreams of unbelievable wealth and fame while also looking to the stars for ancient guidance on how to get through the week. It's not just a list of interests. It's a map of the competing desires that define a country in constant, rapid motion.
And that leaves us with one final thought to chew on. We've just decoded a snapshot of one nation's mind, but you could do this anywhere. So ask yourself, if you had to build a news page to reflect the consciousness of your country, what headlines would be on it? And maybe more importantly, why those headlines? What do the deep contradictions, the things that make absolutely no sense right next to each other, what do they really tell you about your nation's deepest hopes and its most hidden fears?